but for now it's okay. So let's get started. Yeah, actually, the previous week was mostly for uh, recharging between or recharging before the your first challenging task. So hope you were doing great the previous week because you had only one theoretical module without any assignments, and I hope there are no any questions regarding the previous week. So regarding the current one, you have one theoretical assignment. So you have the module and the test to be passed, which is already added on the RSI platform. So if you notice the auto test, so here is the new test to be passed. Along with that, we're starting the English for Kids task. So this will be the first complex task for 3 weeks for completion. So I hope that you're already acquainted with the task requirements, just in case if something is unfamiliar for you or isn't clear, so you can refer to the examples of work that were performed by previous students. A few words to highlight here. So first of all, the design of the your future application is up to you, and the set of data to be used for the application is also under your decision. So here is the example of the data that is used for English for Kids, but you can provide any sort of data you want. So it's also, depends on your preferences, on your native language, because we're using this application for non-English speaking audience to learn the English. So initially that task was copied like from the Russian course runs. So that's why the translations are in Russian. So you are free to change the data set by any means, usually as you wish. Okay. So don't quite remember about other frequently asked questions. So again, you're given 3 weeks for completing the task, and like the previous one about inheritance, by default, all the tasks from stage 2 should be submitted for the code review to your mentor. So please pay attention to the repository requirements. Like usually, we are working in your in school private repositories. Again, the main or master branch is empty, containing only the README file or git ignore. Pay attention to the commit messages guidelines, and once you're ready with your task implementation, so please create the pull request to the main branch. And another requirement here is to perform the self-evaluation in your pull request. So what the purpose? Well, actually, since it's the very complex task, it requires lots of time checking. Sometimes Mentor could not understand whether one of the requirements is completed or not. So it's will be a great idea to perform the self-check by checking each of the evaluation criteria, whether or not you did this piece of functionality. Okay. So also pay attention to the folder name. So like previously, I recommend you to create this not only separate branch for the task, but separate folder as well, because it will be convenient for you to merge all the completed tasks into one single repository, which will be used, let's say, for your portfolio. All right then. So maybe let's go further with your questions. So please go ahead, unmute and ask something. Yeah, as usually. All right. So I see your hand.
Hello.
Please go ahead.
Hello. I would ask a question about the previous tasks. If the task, inheritance task, previous task, is not reviewed yet, Is that the problem? There is still time for reviewer to review the task.
Yeah, that's completely okay. So usually mentors are given 2 weeks to check your task, but we recommended them not to like to prolong checking your task because yeah, it's will hurt your further experience. Most probably you will make the same mistakes and in previous tasks. So usually the deadline for checking the task by mentors is 2 weeks later after the deadline. But if you see that the mentor haven't responded to you regarding your pull request, or even though you still don't have mentor assigned by some reason, so please do not hesitate and highlight every case with the mentors for us to understand the overall picture. So does it answer your question?
Yes, and one more question, if I can ask. We should use Webpack, ESLint, and Bubble in our assignment, and it's noted that we must use ESLint and ESLint config, and it probably it's the same. I guess yes, that yes, you're right. It's the right place.
Mm-hmm.
Are those the same, like ESLint and ESLint config base?
I'm not sure. And where you see about preprocessors.
You scrolled it already.
Okay. Let me do the following because I don't quite remember. Okay, the code quality.
Yes, yes.
Now I got it.
Are those the same ESLint and ESLint config base?
Well, actually, ESLint is a library, and ESLint config Airbnb base. It's the ESLint rule set for the ESLint.
Okay.
So you should install and use both of them, because ESLint is actually the library for checking the entire source code for matching the linting rules, and this config is intended for defining the set of rules that enables for checking for linting issues.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, I do, if you don't mind. I'm a little bit late,
Sure.
so I guess I may have missed some things. So just to make sure, so we are not doing this as a cross check. So this the check will be done by our mentors. I mean, that kids English thing task, right? Is that correct?
Well, so your task will be for sure checked by mentors, and as far as I see, some of the requirements are written with respect to cross-check. So not sure about this one, but for sure this check, the check will be performed by mentor.
Mm-hmm. All right. And can we discuss the task with the mentors? If I'll have any problems or with the code, will she be the mentor will be able to guide me, or the task of the mentor is just to check and and evaluate?
Exactly. This is the purpose of the mentoring program. So the mentor is the person who will help you to understand the requirements, or to not to fully guide, but to help you in finding the correct path for implementing. So that's the purpose of mentors.
Mm-hmm.
So please do not hesitate to contact them and ask whatever you want.
Okay, thank you. And one more thing. So I've noticed that in the description for this task, there's where is it? So basically, we have to save the data, like a statistic or something. So do we? do have to create a database of some sort, you know, like a MongoDB, or how it can
No,
be
you don't need to use database at all. So local storage will be enough.
local? Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's so. Yeah. One last thing. So the task will take what, about 3 weeks, right? Is that correct, or 2 weeks?
Correct.
And
3 weeks.
Yeah. So is each week we do have like a certain deadline, or you know, the deadline is in 3 weeks time? It's just I
The
want to know,
overall
like,
deadline is 3 weeks. So this task is not separated by weeks. So this is one
Okay.
single task for 3 weeks.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. I guess that's it for me. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Right then, if there is no anything else to discuss, I propose to close the webinar. All right then.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you. In case of in case if you need any help, so do not hesitate to ask your mentors. So thanks everyone. Have a great week.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Have a nice day. Bye-bye.